Nation of Fitin10, welcome to day 5 of the challenge. Yesterday I put out a notification in Slack for the meeting that's coming this Saturday at 10:30. It will be a short meeting. It may or may not be. Well, probably about half an hour. We'll go through some topics that I've chosen, some popular topics, things that people tend to struggle with, and some other things as well. And I want to hear from you. I want to hear your questions, and hopefully I can be of some good help to you. Today I want to talk to you about first I want to go through a couple things that I've noticed on some of the feedback that I'm getting. Not the feedback, but your eating journals. And one of these is getting enough protein at each meal. So make sure you get a protein strong food at each meal and make sure you get enough of it. So I've seen some people put in like an ounce or an egg white or something like this. So this is only like a couple of grams worth of protein. And I know you're getting at least, if you're a smaller person, probably getting like maybe 80, 90 grams protein. If you're a large person, you're probably getting 170, 180. So even if you're a smaller person, you still want to be getting 20 grams of protein in that meal. And ideally that's going to come from a protein strong food. I'll talk about that in the near future, why that's important, as opposed to say getting protein from a food that's not very protein strong. Well, that's going to be hard because that really entails getting other calories, getting fats and carbohydrates, which you don't want to do. So think about getting enough protein at each meal. This is also going to help you to stay alert. It's going to help you stabilize blood sugar levels. It's going to heighten certain neurotransmitters in your brain that are going to keep you more focused and alert. It's going to feel like you have more energy. You're going to feel less tired. And there's other reasons too, okay? So we'll talk about that in the near future. But protein is super important at every meal, and your body can't store protein either. Okay, it's either, it's digesting and breaking down, going to your bloodstream, and your body's utilizing it. Essentially, we can't store it like we can store fat. Obviously, we know we can store fat. We can store carbohydrates in the muscle and the liver. We can't store protein. Something else I want to mention here, weigh all of your foods. You're hearing me say this many, many times. I'm saying it again. Weigh all your foods, including nut butters. Okay, you know why I'm saying this? Because time and time again, a tablespoon magically, when it's measured out, magically somehow becomes 2 tablespoons or 3 tablespoons because it's actually not a tablespoon. Tablespoon is supposed to be completely flat. Like if you took some peanut butter in a tablespoon, you'd want to make sure, first of all, that the peanut butter is taking up all the volume in the tablespoon, but then you would actually take a knife and take everything off the top. And that would be a true tablespoon. But I'm going to encourage you to weigh out your nut butter just so you know how little you actually get, because nut butter is super, super calorie dense. Well, it's fat dense, and for every gram of fat, there's 9 calories. It's very, very energy dense. Fat is energy dense. Some no-nos that I've seen in people's journals, and I got to go through other journals because there's more no-nos than this. Popsicles, no. Okay, no popsicles. And pepperoni sticks. Okay, if you're gonna eat meat, eat real meat. Okay, now that's not to say that pepperoni doesn't have real meat, and of course it does, but it's got a lot of preservatives, a lot of nitrates, etc. A lot of these additives that, generally speaking, are not good for your health. Think real whole food. Also, I want you to think, I skipped over one of my points here. I want you to always think, this is probably the most important point too. I want you to think always about what you're eating. Now you might say, I'm doing that. But I want you to think along the lines of nutrition. And I gave out an example. I gave out an obvious example, the difference between eating, let's say, some berries, for example. Well, this wasn't the example I used, but I'm going to give you an obvious example here. You could eat the same amount of sugar coming from berries versus, say, white sugar. You could eat the same amount, and that's basically pure carbs. Both of them are basically pure carbs. Well, sugar is more pure carb, but point is, I'm saying if you're eating the same amount of carbohydrates between the two, but one has way more nutrition. And since you're in a calorie deficit, which you are, you're not getting as much calories. So you want to make sure that you're getting as much nutrition as you can out of the food. You want to get the most bang for your buck. And this is one of many reasons why I'm encouraging you to eat real whole foods. Things like popsicles, there's no nutrition in this, okay? Well, there's very little nutrition in a popsicle. We've got to think about nourishing the body. Okay, we want to be healthy. We want to think about our health. We want to think about staving off all these chronic diseases, which I believe at least partly are due to what we consume. All this food that's it's gone through a lot of different measures, and there's been a lot of additives put into the foods and a lot of nutrition removed from the foods. Vitamins, minerals, phytonutrients, fiber. The list goes on and on and on, okay? So think about what you're eating. Think about what you're eating, okay? And I didn't get to my topic today, almost 7 minutes. I just wanted to lecture. But seriously, all these things really matter. So please take heed. Take notice, please. Pay attention. Think about the food that you're eating. I'm going to go to the message of the day. So let's do that. And tomorrow I will talk about why calories matter. Okay? Why having enough calories matters when you're trying to lose fat. And why not just have less calories? I'll talk about that tomorrow. It's interesting, I think. You build yourself up. Excuse me. Let me start again. You build yourself up over time, not overnight. Things take time. Things are a process. Big things are a process. This is a big thing. Especially things that have any great value or any great change in your life or are going to be really meaningful to you. They take time. Slow and steady wins the race. Remember that, especially when it comes to changing body composition and maintaining these lifestyle habits that are so important to your health, to your fitness, to your well-being. You build yourself up over time, not overnight. So be patient and know that things take time. Positive energy, positive vibes, believe in yourself, and for the love of God, give some gratitude. And I will talk to you all tomorrow. Talk about why calories matter, especially getting enough calories.